Up first this evening, a key stakeholder in the fight against crime is urging the authorities to monitor the policemen and women who have been deployed in the zones of special operations and states of emergency.
The call comes amid suggestions that those officers are more stressed and could snap because they have to work longer hours in these areas. Dwayne Anderson has this report.
The redeployment of manpower in multiple zones of special operations and areas under a state of emergency has resulted in a downturn in violence in those police divisions. But could it be coming at a mental cost? Dr. Elizabeth Ward of the Violence Prevention Alliance fears these policemen and women are on edge due to the increased physical demands and stress.
They're under enormous levels of stress, especially with all the additional duties and overtime that is having to be done to do these zones of special operation.
She took note of efforts by the High Command to recruit more members for the JCF, but says the authorities also need to look at how work hours are scheduled. Dr. Ward also wants the team members in the zones to be given more regular counseling, including through the police chaplaincy unit. But even then, that may not be enough. She prescribes more rest for them too.
They need to have time off to reduce their levels of stress. And all of us, especially we know back to school time, end of month time, when money is short, how do we react when when there isn't enough money to meet the bills? And often this is a cause of escalation.
She also has this advice for persons who have relatives serving in the zones of special operations and states of emergency.
The monitoring of behavioral changes and picking up. And also, family members also need to understand if they see those warning signs, they have to get help for them before it gets out of hand.
The Violence Prevention Chairman said while the breathing space provided to law-abiding residents by the emergency security measures is good, residents will have to be part of the solution. For her, security forces alone will never bring sustainable peace to communities. The government was also urged to strengthen social intervention programs before pulling the security forces from the communities. Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
The Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, has chosen to clarify rather than retract his recent statements about the state of the police force. Dr. Chang, who said the force was beyond repair, met with members of the Police Federation in Kingston today in an effort to smooth relations with the JCF. TVJ's Anthony Lugg caught up with the Security Minister after the meeting and filed this report.
Not retracting. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang on his recent comments that put him at odds with the Police Federation last week. It's about his plans for the transformation of the police force. In his comments, the Security Minister said the Jamaica Constabulary Force in its current state is beyond repair and must be changed. Since then, Chairman of the Police Federation Corporal Arlene McBean has been calling for the minister to retract his statement, arguing that the comments have further demoralized some officers. But today, handshakes and smiles, following the meeting where the minister sought to clarify his comments. Are you retracting your statement or you're not retracting your statement?
I'm clarifying, I'm putting it in clear perspective. It's not a retraction of a statement. Yes, it is, because what the public has is wrong. So I'm making very clear to the public what my policy did. Men and women of the force are there who can provide this country quality security work. The quality policing, the institution of the police force is what is wrong and has to be changed.
He added that it's against that background that the new Police Services Act must not be adjusted or revised but be fully renewed. And by the time the meeting concluded, the Police Federation accepted the minister's clarification.
Today, after the meeting, and just listening to the minister's release, giving clarity, and in a particular way, we would classify it as a retraction too. It has come as a welcoming feeling to the rank and file members and the Central Committee of the Police Federation. And whilst we await more discussion, as the minister had promised in our meeting, we want to let Jamaica know that the Police Federation and the rank and file population of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, we are not averse to transformation.
So what can the country expect going forward?
We're going to make the changes necessary as a team between myself, the Commissioner, the officers, and the Police Federation. We'll consult and we will expect very shortly to have the kind of institutional structure that allows us to have sustainable, efficient, effective policing.
Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.